Storytime with Thibs again. The portion of the story where I use my own personal messing up to give you a life lesson to make your training and nutrition better. I sacrificed myself for you guys, doing all kind of crazy stuff throughout my years on this earth. Now, I want to talk about over-deprivation when it comes to dieting. What do I mean by that? It's the approach where, okay, you have to understand something, right? Changing your body is something very emotional. You're looking at yourself in a mirror. You hate what you're seeing. You hate it, and you want it gone tomorrow. Because of that, we all tend to do it. We tend to overdo it. I'm going to cut calories way too much, doing way too much activity, and of course you're going to lose weight really fast. But it will create a lot of messing up that can kill your progression in the future. Now, of course, there's the leptin level. It will decrease T4 to T3 conversion, but that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the neurological and psychological impact of over-deprivation. A diet that is too restrictive. You don't give your brain and your body enough energy to function optimally. And your body will always want to protect itself. So when it feels deprived, I'm not receiving enough nutrients to fuel my body on a daily basis, while the body will try to trigger things that will force you to get the nutrients in, the calories in. One strategy it will use, normally the first one, is decrease leptin production. Leptin is a hormone released by the fat cells and then sent to the brain. When leptin connects to the brain, it tells your body it is well fed, so it keeps appetite down, it keeps metabolic rate up. When leptin doesn't make it to the brain as much, it gives you cravings. It's a strategy, a neural strategy, hormonal strategy that your body uses to force you to eat more, especially caloric-dense food. You'll notice that you will not have cravings for broccoli unless it's like broccoli covered by chocolate and cherries and no broccoli. But that's pretty much it, right? So we always crave stuff that has a very high caloric density. Lots of energy per unit of food, because your brain only knows, hey, dude, I'm underfed, I need energy right fucking now. So you will look for in your brain experiences with foods that provided you with a high amount of energy for a quantity that you were eating. So you'll always crave foods that your brain knows has a lot of energy, either high fat or high sugar, ideally both. That's why you're craving all kind of crazy stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you my own stories and my experience with this little cool thing called binging out. You've seen pictures of me looking absolutely awesome, like the dream guy. I mean, seriously, I am that great. I'm kidding. But you've seen those pictures while I'm lean, and people think, well, Thib is a world-class strength coach. He has trained bodybuilders. He looks great. So he must always be perfect with his nutrition. I'm the worst, especially in the past. I used to be the chronic under-eater, then binging like crazy. I'm going to tell you my own personal record, and I'm pretty sure I actually beat that record, but I didn't measure it, was gaining 27 pounds in 6 hours. And I'm telling you, the healthiest thing I hate in those 6 hours was the lettuce on a Big Mac. That's pretty much it. It was pastries, donuts, all that stuff. I actually weighed myself because I knew it was going to be epic. 27 pounds in 6 hours. The next day, I learned what it was to give birth to a child. And I'm pretty sure that once I gained more than that. I was in St. Louis, and we had Arby's back then. Arby's had a deal where you had 5 menu items for $5. And I'm pretty much telling you my age because that was a while ago. So I would have 24 hamburgers and one order of fries for $25. So I hate those 24 burgers in one sitting. I'm pretty sure I gained like 32, 33 pounds, but I didn't measure myself, so it doesn't count. So I did some crazy binging, dudes. I remember I was preparing for a bodybuilding competition, and it got to a point where I went to the grocery store 3 times a day because I could not have any food at my apartment. Because if I had food, I would eat it, even if it was for my 6th meal. So I would overeat, then I have to go back again. So I would always buy my meals 2 by 2. So I would go to the grocery store, buy my next 2 meals, then go back, buy my next 2 meals, etc. It was the only way for me to control my urges to eat crap. It was so bad, dude, that I was actually walking to the grocery store because it was walking distance, and I was in my mind thinking, okay, I'm a caveman, I'm going hunting. My brain obviously lacked fuel. And really, like, killing a tiger is one thing. Killing a steak that's in the fridge, it's pretty easy, right? Anyway, so that's how I bet it got. So one night, I wake up at I didn't wake up because I honestly couldn't go to sleep. It was like 3 a.m. and I'm starving, I'm craving, I'm hallucinating food, dude. So I'm looking everywhere at the apartment, cannot find a single like half chewed up protein bar or anything. So I took my car and I was looking for a convenience store open 24/7, which were rare at the time. I finally found one, like after driving for 30 minutes. I bought for $75.65 of crap. Candy, pastries, anything you can imagine. So I went back home and I was in my bed with the food surrounding me, and I'm grabbing a piece here, grabbing a piece there, and I'm crying at the same time. Crying is something I do a lot of. Anyway, so I'm crying, I'm gonna screw up my prep, I'm gonna be fat tomorrow. So after 50 minutes, no more. I take a bag, put all the rest of the food in there, and I'm going outside, I put that in the trash can. I'm going back to my diet, it's over, no more binging. So I walk in, I go to bed. 5 minutes later, I'm outside, taking the food out of the trash can, opening the bag, and eating that right on the spot. That's how bad I was. So I know what it is to have cravings. And the only reason that I had those cravings was that I was excessive with my dieting. Now, I didn't count calories back then. And of course, calories don't matter. Bull fucking shit. Calories do matter. Okay? It's not the only thing that matters, but it does matter. But if I think back about what I was eating, I was probably having like 800 to 1,000 calories a day, pretty much all of it protein. So it's no wonder that I had problems with binging out and cravings. Your brain, when it feels deprived, I was training twice a day on top of it, right? Over-depleting, over-exercising, you lose control of yourself. And I'm a super disciplined guy. When it counts, I can diet. So if a guy like me had those binging out experiences, imagine how someone who's not as passionate as I am with improving the body will react. If you put them on a diet that is overly restrictive, they will go crazy. They will end up fatter than they were when they started the process. Don't forget that unless you're working with a competitor, what you are looking for to make lifetime changes. Not getting in shape for a month and a half, then blowing back up. And when you trigger those cravings, then you are building that neurological mechanism that associates those calorie-dense food with pleasure and feeling good about yourself or feeling good overall. So when you get back to a regular way of eating, you might still have those cravings, but now there's no limit because you're not on a diet anymore. It's really hard to beat. It took me years to reprogram my brain to not need to binge anymore. And it came with rebalancing my diet. And even when I diet down right now, I don't create as much of a deficit. Yes, we all want changes right now. Even me, I get sick of what I look like sometimes. I want to be in great shape tomorrow. But if you are trying to be great tomorrow, you might end up worse in a month and even worse in 3 months. You are in this for the long run. You have to accept that and make smart decisions, not emotions-based decisions. So that was Storytime with Thibs. See you next time.